Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time it is today. Looking at the bright side of things, you know, got our hearts in cry.
We all are one. Like, at the end of the day, no matter what, like, we can have different paths that we're going to take, different interests, but the common goal is for us to, like, be happy, spread love, and have a community. You know, when you could be a good person, but don't necessarily have to go above and beyond all the time to keep proving that you're good, because I shouldn't have to do too much, like, you know. So it comes to that point when you know when you don't need to do nothing else, when you can just be, and that should be enough. So
Alright.
Hello guys.
What's up with the mic? So basically, if we boil it down, expressing yourself. What?
Pause. This died and it fell.
I want to say I probably kind of got familiar with
Maya the fucking great.
Several.
We're here.
Conducting our second interview of the series.
Number two.
Thank you so much. You're my second-hand man, dog. I have many second-hand mans, but you're one of my second-hand mans. So, let me just start off. Same night as we did Cess's, go watch the other one. Here we have somebody very special and dear to me. We met mad random. We just connected off like an idea and a project. We're like, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. And you know that video of Drake was like, you see this? I don't really want to, like, you know, kind of put myself like that, but like, that's all I gotta say. But so one of the most hardworking, intelligent, insightful people that I know, and I always say this, I love to say this is why you're one of my right-hand men. There's always an idea that Maya brings up that I'm like, yo, bro, I never would have fucking thought of that, bro. And that's why you need special people in your life like this. And that's why we interviewing special people in my life like this. So here we have
that, bro.
Maya Bravo.
Got an intro, bro. Don't get me emotional, bro. We ain't even start talking yet. Wait.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, bro.
How you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. I mean, we got gang here in the background, behind the scenes. Shout out to the gang. Yeah, I mean, I'm chilling right now. I'm good. We outside, but we in. Just vibing, relax.
How was your day like today?
My day was good, you know. Started off just doing my own thing, just building myself up with, like, the tools that I needed. Just setting my arsenal right for the, like, I feel like January was like a child. February, I'm really calling it like the first quarter. So it's just like building up for that launch, because we like, what, 2 days away? So I'm just excited for what's to come this year. More in store than a brick and mortar, you heard? So that's all.
Think about, we're going to go backwards, because since we started from the front, we're going to go backwards.
Okay.
So think about Maya. Doesn't have to be exactly January 30th, but think about yourself 1 year ago. Could you talk about maybe the differences in how you, state of mind, how you felt, kind of, your outlook? How is that different from 1 year now?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You don't have to give like the answer right away. Think about it, type shit. Reflect a little.
I feel like last year around this time, it was kind of like cloudy. Like my vision wasn't as clear and concrete as it is now. I feel like I felt like I wasn't where I wanted to be, but I was feeling like a little lost. I didn't really know which direction to go in order to move in the right path. So it made me feel a little stagnant for a bit. And due to that, like, stagnant feeling, I kind of feel like I lost like the drive a little bit, and I was kind of like low. Like I'm a little low now, but like with purpose. But before there was like no purpose as to why I wasn't doing. I just felt like I guess I lacked the motivation. And yeah, I'm just happy to say that now I'm in a completely different space, mentally, emotionally. So it's kick off.
Would you say?
Absolutely.
1 second. Beijing, could you, like, angle? Could you get it from this over here, please? Sorry. No, we're good. We're good. We're just gonna edit as nothing. This edit is. Keep going. Okay, so now, boom. 1 year ago, you weren't really all the way there, right? You said that little cloud. How long did you feel that for? Like, how long back did that go? You know what I mean? That little cloud. Like, how long were you feeling that cloud for? Like either before or after, you know, like what was the time span?
I want to say it definitely was maybe 2.5 months. I want to say around like the end of February, going into like March, I kind of felt like I wasn't trying to go into like the last half of the year still feeling the way I felt for like the beginning months. So I just kind of told myself, like, listen, like, it's cool to feel a certain way, but you have to know when it's time to like flick yourself in the head and just be like, hey, like, time to grow from that. Time to learn whatever it was, or take whatever you need to take from that, and just not let that keep you stuck. So I was starting to like really fake it till I make it. I was like setting dates to things before I even really had anything planned out. But just for me, just strictly being on some, like, I'm gonna get this done. I got things done. We ended up doing a 420 event on the 420 day. Ended up doing a picnic a couple months later. So I just gotta say, like, once you like really set your mind to something and you stay, like, listen, like, I could be here, but I'm there. You gotta get through, break through, and that's it.
So that little breakthrough, what put that fire behind your back to be like, or you know, what lit the light? What was the candle to that cloud that you were feeling? Could you like kind of pinpoint a source, or you know, maybe a person, or people, or a thing that happened, or some, what kind of led you to that, like, you know, that helped you ignite that light to get out of the cloud? What kind of was that? How did that happen?
So if I'm being like transparent, I've definitely went through waves of feeling discouraged, feeling unmotivated, not really being creative, kind of feeling like I was like in a creative cage, so to speak. I think what kind of like set that fire to where it was like, nah, like, time to pop that bubble, trying to do what you gotta do, was just always knowing that no matter how low I feel, or when I feel like I can't create, I know that that's my medicine, that's the remedy, that's how I am able to like figure me out through the things that I involve myself in, where I'm able to just put my heart into it and just like do that shit. So I guess me always knowing like what it was that really served me and moved me, I just had to make sure that like I kept that in the forefront of my brain to know that this is what you're here for. This is what you're supposed to do. So it's not really about how long it takes you to do it, but as long as it makes you feel good while you're on that journey. So it just made me kind of like keep on moving.
Let's get a little bit specific. Would you mind going into what was it? Like, what was it that like, boom, like, oh my God, you know, like that during that time? Could you like pinpoint to one little specific thing? Or maybe like a kind of like a series of couple things, or what?
I think the series was kind of like us just getting together as collective, like just having like-minded people who not only shared, you know, similarities, but we also had our differences, but you know, being able to hear everybody's story and see the different things that moved us, but how we can all help each other, and how like we all are one. Like at the end of the day, no matter what, like we can have different paths that we're going to take, different interests, but the common goal is for us to like be happy, spread love, and have a community, really. So it's just like having that community, being loved and everything like that, kind of like made it easier to be like, all right, like if I'm, you know, surrounded by 5-6 people, whatever, and like they all, you know, first of all, the introduction you just gave me, like, wow, like that touched me. So like to be around people who make you feel like you're here for a reason, like you bring something to the table, you're valuable, that makes you kind of want to look at yourself in a way that's like, all right, like, that's the whole reason behind my brand. Like, bravo, so applaud you, because I feel like I've struggled with like self-esteem, confidence for so long, and a lot of people don't even know that, because like I've gotten to a point where I'm able to like be without thinking about like how I look doing it and stuff like that. So just to like be able to be around people in a space where it's like you could be vulnerable, be yourself, and express yourself however you feel, it's just been amazing, and it's just been helping me to just accelerate and get done what I need to do. So
So there was something in there you said that I want to dig in at, which was that you always struggled with self-esteem. Not always, but you struggled for a while with self-esteem.
Since
So
since I come
10.
So, okay. Wait. Cut it real quick. I got you.
We were about to get into the topic of low self-esteem. Is that something that you, I wouldn't say struggled, but dealt with?
Absolutely.
Can you recall, when did you first recognize I have low self-esteem? You know, because for a while you could felt shitty. You don't know this is called low self-esteem. You know what I mean? When was the first time you recognized, you know, like, oh shit, I have low self-esteem on myself type shit? Can you kind of recall that?
I mean, I feel like for so long you can have feelings and not have the right words to articulate your feelings. So I want to say I probably kind of got familiar with like the terminology, like more so in like high school. But I feel like I dealt with that for as long as I can remember. I feel like from once I was able to have a growing conscience and able to like collect memories and then reminisce on things and stuff like that, I kind of like went through this kind of like self teaching, but I kind of like gave myself the wrong, like, I guess, and yeah, I'll take one. Like when I was younger, thank you, bro, appreciate you. When I was younger, like just expressing myself was kind of hard. Wasn't always given like the space to comfortably speak and communicate. So for a long time I used to wonder like why wasn't I able to speak when it was like little things. So it kind of like made me start trying to like answer questions for myself that, you know, I should have had others, you know, giving me that guidance, but I kind of had to guide myself, because it was like, all right, like, if you're not going to give me this, then it kind of became more like internalized and like within. Even now to this day, sometimes I struggle with like saying what I need to say because of all of the past, like just silence, I guess, or being silenced that kind of made me feel like, all right, like you don't really got much to say. Like it kind of gave me this like, all right, well, if you don't want to hear me, then like I don't even want to say nothing.
Yeah,
so
that was kind of like your environment, right? You were molded into not feeling like you had a space to express yourself.
Yeah.
Is that kind of where the? I'm sorry, keep going. Is that kind of where the rooted in like? Sorry. Is that kind of where the low self-esteem is rooted in, kind of like? So basically, if we boil it down,
10.
expressing yourself. What?
Pause. This.
Hold it backwards, upside down.
Okay.
Flip to a random page. Just read.
Backwards, upside down. All right.
No, go to the. Okay, so check what law that is for me. Go back a couple pages.
Which law?
Do those shit.
Okay. Law 33. It discovered each man's thumbscrew. Judgment. Everyone has a weakness, a gap in the castle wall. That weakness is usually an insecurity, an uncontrollable emotion or need. It can also be a small secret pleasure. Either way, once found, it is a thumbscrew you can turn to your advantage.
Ooh. Wait, what? You get it? You want to read it again or no?
Oh, I get it.
On that 33 shit, what that up to?
I get it.
6.
It's like,
How many times? 3 times is enough.
basically, it's saying.
Can you say it?
You want me to read it? Oh, absolutely. Because I'm trying to get into voiceover, so let's do this. Let's practice. Law 33. Nah, it's not. All right. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Judgment. Everyone has a weakness, a gap in the castle wall. That weakness is usually an insecurity, an uncontrollable emotion or need. It can also be a small secret pleasure. Either way, once found, it is a thumbscrew you can turn to your advantage.
Alright. So, I'm not going to ask what you think that means. I'm going to ask, do you feel like anyone has ever taken advantage of one of yours?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, has anyone applied that rule to you and taken advantage of you? Or like, how you say, the demonstrated power over you kind of in a way, right? Like, just because the title of the book.
Well,
You know how...
and the way they put it was like turning a thumbscrew. I wouldn't say that they was trying to turn the thumb. They was trying to nail my thumbs. Like, you feel me? That's what that was given. Like, but I mean, that's what people do. Once they learn who you are, or like some people could see your power before you can even see it. Like they can see so far and wide that like they oversee to know exactly what your potential is. And if you don't know what you have and what you hold, it can easily be found in the possession of someone else who could kind of make or break you and try to like shape you into what they would want you to be. Like, instead of you being a person, they look at you as a tool. So definitely, absolutely, I feel like I'm a person who I'm very straightforward in my feelings and what I'm willing to do, and not only saying action. Like I'm very action oriented. And there's people who are so used to people talking and not being about the things that they say. So that's automatically something that people see, like, oh, you willing to do X, Y, and Z for me? Oh, like I could call you and know that like you're gonna be that accessible to me. Like, I bet. So, yeah.
So
Definitely.
how can you prevent somebody from taking advantage of you in that way? Can you kind of figure it out? Like, what do you think you can do, Maya Bravo, to make sure that nobody holds that kind of power over you?
Well, simply in knowing who I am, what I bring to the table, and knowing that in this lifetime, like, we can't do things all on our own. So in any interaction that I have, I gotta know that there's some type of return, some type of exchange, something that's going, like, I give this, you give that. It may not always be at the same time, but I can know when it's necessary, it's accessible. So I guess it all comes down to knowing how to maneuver with people. Like, once somebody can learn me all the way, but if I feel like I'm giving you all of me and I'm only seeing you from one side when you feel like it, then it's like knowing more so like how to put people in categories and knowing how to match energy, like reciprocation, knowing when you could be a good person but don't necessarily have to go above and beyond all the time to keep proving that you're good, because I shouldn't have to do too much, like, so it comes to that point when when you don't need to do nothing else, when you could just be, and that should be enough. So that's
okay. So we didn't really get to dive too deep into your past, and that's completely fine, but let's talk about a very important point. What was the first kind of music you remember like resonating with? How much?
Honestly, music sticks out to me back in the days in two different like settings. I remember having music blasting through the speakers of my mom's car as we would be driving around in the summertime, and it'll be like, what's the song that I remember jamming to crazy? I know there was the 50 Cent song. Whoa, 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 whoa. Like, I got no choice but to be a rider. I remember it like blasting that non-stop, going through, just driving around. And then I remember like the oldies, like on a Saturday morning when my mom wanted to just clean the house and have If I Go a Million Miles Away, I'll write a letter. For me, so it's like I have like, but with everything, I feel like I always pay attention to the words because I feel like lyrics really means a lot to me. Since I mentioned like feeling like I had to be silent. So with having to be silent, it helped me to listen more. So I really like resonate with a song when like the words really mean something and you can like just have a story playing in your head. So it's just like, I don't know. I just remember that. I just remember like songs that really had something to say, and then now it's like I got my shit I gotta say too. So I'm just doing it now.
Now, last question. You have something you want to build. There's a legacy that you can leave solely individualistically with Maya Bravo, and there's a legacy that you will build not alone, right? Can you talk about briefly what those two aspirations are for your individual legacy, and one that you want to have, one that was like contributed, like collaborative kind of? Can you talk about those things?
If I had to have an individual legacy,
like what do you want it to like exude to people? What do you want people to like learn or get from that or feel?
I think individual has to definitely be being learning well. I mean, it takes practice, but individually, I want to kind of like give off that feeling that you can feel like you are consumed in darkness for a long time and know that there's light within for a reason, and just kind of, once you put yourself in a space to allow that light to show, it would just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So I just feel like individually I kind of want to like, inspire that.
And for any collective collaborative projects, what kind of impact do you want to have on a space like that, to that collective?
Kind of want to let it be known that you don't have to necessarily put yourself into one specific category. Like, just because you rap doesn't mean that you can't skate, or doesn't mean that you can't play chess or play golf. Like, if you can, like, all that shit, do all that shit. I guess kind of just feeling like you don't gotta put yourself in a box and have to check off one thing at a time. Like, as long as you put yourself in with practice and like figure out a way to just have everything that serves you show, you're fine. So just collectively, I'm trying to do everything. So.
And you're living proof of that. Just that the people hasn't really seen it yet. So Maya, one last message that you want to give to the world from the heart.
Applaud yourself. Look in the mirror. Tell yourself that you love yourself. For every bad thought, think of 3 things on the bright side. Change your thinking. It takes time. It takes practice, but it's worth it. You're worth it. That's all I gotta say.
Maya Bravo on all streaming platforms. Keys, beautiful song. Plug in your other brands and social media pages and stuff like that.
So you can find me personally on Instagram at MIA the Wordsmith, Maya the Wordsmith. If you want to check out Bravo the brand at Bravo Brand NY. Check us out. Hearts and Crafts, you need a video. You want to have some creative consultation at Hearts and Craft. And of course, you got to check out the collective, the gang, the no names. So yeah, just tap in with us.
Maya, appreciate you. Thank you for being part of the second.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate you. Rendition of this. Tap in. Thank you. Good afternoon to you and cheers.
Cheers.
It's a good year.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.